Hello YouTube, and thank you for tuning in to another Hang with Heavy video series. This is video 4 in our tire hammer build, and today I want to talk to you about some of the basic skills that you're going to need. Now you're going to need torch lighting skills, and you're also going to need welding skills. Inside there, my anvil, the one that's 8 inches in diameter, 35 inches tall, is it's not cut perfectly flat. Matter of fact, when I went through the saw, it kind of got good for a little bit, then it did this little potato chip thing. So I'm going to have to do what we call padding a plate. I'm going to have to pad that up and build it up. So today we're going to go ahead and I'm going to work on that hammer anvil top, and I want you to take a look at that. Now what I'll get, the other end was cut perfect in the saw. So what I'm going to do is I'll weld this end up, grind it up, get it good and going, and then flip it over and weld that so I had the machine top at the top. Before we start welding though, we need to talk about a couple things. Shielded metal arc welding takes place and it's very, very hot. You're going to get a puddle of molten metal about the size of your fingernail, and you're going to be welding and putting down molten metal into that. A piece of metal that size is not only cold, but it also has a lot of moisture in it. Now today, it's a 60-degree day, and according to the American Welding Society, I have met the requirements for welding. But I'm going to have to put a little heat onto this bad boy and dry some moisture out of it before I start welding on it. So let's go in the shop here and take a look at some of the shielded metal arc welding I'm going to be doing on the top of my anvil. Alright YouTube, now this is the top of my anvil, and as you can even tell just by the light hitting it that I have got an area right in here that is not level. So we'll take a look. I put my square across it, and I'm seeing right about there, right where that shadow begins, to right about there, I need to build it up. So I'm going to be using shielded metal arc welding and a padding technique to build this up. Now this material has already been preheated. I took what they call a rosebud torch onto my oxyacetylene outfit, and I preheated this until it's warm to the touch. It definitely does not feel cold. So stick with me. I'm going to go ahead and put some beads down. Alright YouTube, now you can see I've got some weld deposit down there to kind of build up on that slope side, and I'm going to take my grinder now and work on trying to get that leveled out some. The idea isn't to make it perfectly square, though the more square I can get it, the better off I'm going to be. Because this is a compression load, I want to definitely make sure I don't have any big gaps when I go to weld it down. Because if I have a big gap somewhere when I go to weld it, the constant pounding is going to give that give that weld a place to start cracking. So we're going to try and get that as smooth and flat as possible. And I get done doing a little grinding, we'll take a look at it a little later on. Now, some of my friends, I had a friend stop by here just a minute ago by the shop, and he said, "Hey, you're showing them how to put this weld on here, but you never told them anything at all about how the welding process worked or whatever. So if you got somebody that didn't know, they'd be kind of up the creek at this point." Well, I'll give you some basic information. Number one, I welded this with the E7018 low hydrogen electrode. I used about 80 amps on it, and I used a padding technique, which means I welded one way and then I welded another until I got it to where I think it's going to work. But we'll run through the welding process here in just a little bit. Like I say, you're going to need some skills. Stick with me YouTube. Hang with Heavy. Alright YouTube, now you can take a look there and see that I've got it sanded off pretty good. You see that distinct line down through there? That's where the just begins to make the transition. So right along that edge, I'll take my gas tungsten arc welder and melt that into it, and you know, kind of get it to where it blends a little better. I'll hit it with a sander. Now you'll notice that right here there's a few spots that are a little low. I'll also take my gas tungsten arc welder and fill those up because I can control how much weld goes down really easily. So YouTube, this is how we get some parts ready, and stick with me for our next video, where I'm going to be showing you the springs and some of the parts that we welded together for the arms. So until next time YouTube, I'll catch you outside You make sure now you like, share, subscribe, and do what? Comment. Reach on over there. Type in a little comment for me. I'll check you outside, YouTube. See you later. Bye.